lot of streaming, especially in the mornings, a little bit earlier than what I am doing today, but we'll be going live again tomorrow and the next day. So today, trying to figure out how we should start it off, and I've put up a few suggestions there. It could either be a rapid game, puzzles, or a viewer game. So if you're popping in now and you want to take a stab at one of those, let me know. So I think I'm going to use the Chessnut move now to start off, and then I'll probably switch to the Pro a little bit later for some rapid games. But yeah, just getting set up now. We'll just turn the board on. So we just need to do a couple of puzzles to get set up, and then the board should switch on. There we go. Hey, welcome. I am trying to get everything set up here. There we go. All right, so let me just refresh this puzzle. This one's made in two. So I think I'll start off with some Puzzle Rush today. Always a good, fun way to get into it. Set it to survival. And I'll do the first couple without the board. That's a bit too loud. I reckon we'll get to about puzzle 20 before starting it off. this one? Check. Can't go there. He has to go down. Push. He has to go down. There. He has to go down. Ah, yeah, okay. And then back, that's fine. Alright, so we're at 20, and we're starting our endgame puzzle, so that's good. There you go. Alright. Okay, so this one's black to move. I feel like the king just has to come in here. Why can't I draw lines? I'm not sure why I can't draw lines. Might have to look in the settings in a moment. Can't draw, can't highlight? What's going on? Right, okay, so I feel like the king needs to come up here. Why can't I see my screen? Huh, it's weird. Alright, well I can't see my screen even though it's reacting. Oh, can't see the board. Let me just turn that off. Hold on guys, I'm actually gonna... There we go. All right, how's that? All right, my computer just completely lost it. It wasn't allowing me to draw lines or anything. It was just showing up a blank screen. But now I think we're back. And I think it's all good. I'm hoping it's all good. Let me know if it's not all good. I think we're back in now. So let's continue. Yeah, 100% sack the queen. The right way to go there. Hello, I'm Yuri. I don't know how to say that. Hello, welcome. How are we going today? This one's a good pattern to know. A nice quick smothered mate. Check, double check, has to move across. What's up? And then the queen comes in, the rook takes, and then they go back across for checkmate. What do you mean is the account creation date important? What are you referring to? All right, white to move. Well, that's just an easy checkmate. Hello, Nerdy. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. All right. This one's black to move. Thank you, Nerdy. Thank you for the likes. If you want, you can try and take a stab at this move. See what you come up with. Thank you, thank you. Queen F3. Queen F3 is not a move. Queen F3. I think what you meant was queen takes queen. Queen takes queen. Rook takes queen. Rook comes up for a skewer. And if the rook comes back to defend, the bishop comes in and attacks the rook. And the rook has to move. And we win the knight. Well done, GG. Well done. Oops, my bad. Oh, somehow that was wrong. I don't feel that was wrong. That was bad. But that's all right. The next one's quite easy. We can get that. And we'll see what Nerdy did wrong after that one. But this one here is remove the defender. So the king takes, the rook takes. And then the king moves. And then we can simply bring the rook over again. And this time the king takes. They take, move, 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 move. Alright, 3 ways to get out of check. One way allows us to defend the queen by take, 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 and all the other ways don't. Okay, white to move. might get this wrong, but it looks like g4. So g4, so if we take, they take g4, they get to go up here. But if we go g4 first and they take, we take, the knight doesn't have any good squares to go to. William, that's what I reckon too. Let's give it a go. Okay, this one's black to move. This just looks like queen takes queen, bishop takes queen, and then pawn takes b2. Aye. That's what it looked like. That's what it looked like. So let's just go back real quick. I didn't mean to click. I meant to reset the puzzle, not start a new one. Oh, it's all happening today. We're gonna go ahead and play a rapid game. So let me just reset the board. Because I don't think 31 is a very good score on the puzzles. A little bit of rushing it, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and play a rapid game now. So just gonna reset the board, then we're gonna jump into the rapid pool. All right, so let's find a game and we'll get straight into it. What's that, Jordan? The board. Yeah, it's a bit interesting for sure. Unfortunately, I'm not finding anything here. I think he's going to castle queenside, and I want to push the a pawn. But pushing the a pawn doesn't really make any sense, because even if I go here, he can actually take, I take, and then the queen takes. So I've decided to go with kingside castling. I expect him to go queenside, and I'm just not really finding anything good here. But hopefully soon. I do also want to note that my knight is incredibly out of play here. Maybe chasing the bishop before wasn't ideal, but he goes here instead. I'm going to bring it back and see if we can entice a blunder, because if he chases, I think I have takes. Oh, but then he can go here. Okay. This is the chestnut move. I've got a link rotating on the banner over there. You can also check out this website here that I'm putting on screen. I've done reviews on this board and all the other boards on there, so you can get all the information from there. I'm not sure if it's a brilliant move, but it feels good. I'm expecting him to take back with the knight, and then I'm looking at following up with bishop takes, and if he goes over here, then rook here, pinning the knight, ready for the queen to come up here for check and the fork. So even if he takes the bishop, I'll still win back the rook, and I think he's in a lot of trouble there. Of course, I'm waiting for him to make his move before I go and yeah, it seems worth. So I'm just waiting for him to make his move before I commit to investing all my energy. And of course, if queen takes, then I'm simply taking back the knight. Okay. So that's another critical moment. I actually went with the queen takes because I felt like with the bishop takes, with correct play, he might be able to get his king out of there just in time. The queen just feels a little bit more aggressive. Now I'm kind of expecting bishop to come down here, and I'm probably just going to move my king over here for safety. I don't see any need to take the bishop back and put the king on the same file as the queen and the king. And now we've got this pin going on, we've got this pin going on, we've got 3 pieces in the attack. I am down material, but his king is kind of not doing great here. Now I was thinking, instead of doing the bishop move, so if we put the bishop back over here, I was thinking of going queen here, but then he goes across and then we go check. And then he blocks with the queen, and like I may be up a little bit of material, but at the same time, I'm kind of giving up that whole attack that I was going for. And yes, the pieces do move themselves. They got little wheels on the bottom of them. Ethan, thank you for the follow. Brayden, you can always add me on chess.com, same username, Wiggy, WHIGGI. I mean, it has to be with the rook. Has to be the rook. I don't think there was any other move for me there. Taking with the queen, obviously no. Queen trade doesn't feel right. Taking with the bishop also didn't really feel good if he moved to the corner. So yeah, it's now I don't see a clear way to finish this game yet, but maybe I could bring the knight in as well. But I think this one is over. So queen takes. Yep. Okay. So we took the bishop. So I just need to consider this real quick. So straight away, I don't want to take the bishop because I don't want to give him queen here check. So I'm leaning towards just moving the king. It's one of two ways. I mean, I could also take with the queen as well, but I don't want to give up this attack. So I'm leaning towards actually bringing the king back to the center this time. And the reason is I've got the attack on the bishop, so I can win back a little bit of material. If he tries to get out, he's got no checks. But if he tries to get out, I've actually got a discovered check, which should lead to mate. So that's fine. So if I go here, he's no longer got any tricks here because everything is gone. The knight before, I think, was supporting that square. So if I go here, he goes here. That's fine because then I've got checkmate coming up. If I go here and he goes here, that's fine because that's checkmate anyway. If I go here, I don't see any downside to go into F1 now. So yeah, the reason why I chose f1 over h1 is because, let's say I've missed something here. I think this game is going to come down to a little bit of extra material. I can gain this bishop back and he's got no checks. So he has to deal with the queen right now, and he's got no good moves to deal with it. And no matter what he does, I think I've just got double checks and discovered checks, and yeah, I think he's in a lot of trouble here. 1698. I didn't look at his rating before. Okay, so now I've got checkmate in 2. And that's GG. All right, we will put up the game review in a moment. However, before I put up the game review, I like to actually go through the game myself a second time just to make sure I didn't miss anything before the engine tells me exactly what I missed. This board here, how much is it? There's 2 versions, so I'll put up my website and you can check them out whenever you want. I have done reviews on these boards. The one I'm using today is called the Chessnut Move, and it comes in plastic and wooden pieces. I am using the set with wooden pieces. And how much do they cost? I'm not exactly sure at the moment, but I do have the price on my website there, and I do have a discount code which will get you a better price than whatever the other codes they have. The link is flashing up on screen, and it's also, I'll put it back on there one more time, wiki.com/chessnut, and you can check out the board. All right, so let's quickly do a quick self-review. How does castling work? So castling for you simply pick up your king, you move him across, and then you pick up your rook and you move it across just like you normally would. Castling for your opponent, these pieces will be out of the way, and if there's anything else, the king will move slightly down and the other one will go around, so they'll sort of drive around each other. Let me see. I'll show you in a moment how the knight moves as well. It's really cool. The 2 pawns will sort of turn and walk out of the way, and then the knight will make its way through, and then the pawns will put themselves back. So if there's any pieces sort of blocking the way, they sort of all work together and move out of the way. Let's go through a quick review. Completely comfortable here, no issues. Now here's where I sort of went off what I normally do. What I normally do is I'll normally push my pawn here, fianchetto, and play like that. But today I went like this and he took. I don't think he should have taken. I think he should have gone back and kept the pin. What's that? Sorry, I meant on the board. On the board, yeah. So all the pieces will move out of the way, and then the king and the rook will sort of shuffle around each other. But I will show you that in a moment. So I don't think he should have taken here. I think that was his bad. I think he should have gone back and kept the pressure on the pin. And me taking with the queen was better than taking with the knight, because I don't want to trade queens and give up castling rights. And yeah, so now I'm in a completely different territory. Thank you for the likes. Jordan, thank you. So I don't really want to give up castling rights. And now that I've got my bishop out here, you know, if he is to move, he's got a little bit of pressure here. This move I think was a mistake as well. I can't see that being good, because the pawn just simply pushes up. So I'm not unhappy about having my pawn here watching these 2 squares. I feel like it's better than being here. So I think that was a bad move for him. And then this could have potentially been a bad move for me. I think castling might have been the better option here. And putting this knight over here kind of put him out of play for the rest of the game. And I was considering the whole time. Max, YouTube, welcome. My elo is now 1809. So here, I feel like this is a bad move. It just helps him get to a better square. I think castling would have been better, but I do also want to activate my rook. So it was probably labeled a good move, but probably not the best move. Again, maybe castle queenside, maybe castle kingside, but I feel like adding this pressure here felt good as well. And now I thought he was going to castle. Now I did want to go here, but going here doesn't work because he's got 2 attackers, I got 1 defender. So I actually lose material here. Doesn't seem like good value, although I might be able to get it back. But that doesn't seem very good either. So, so I just went with castle. Castle seems like a better option. And this move here, I think was the best move. And this pawn coming up is a blunder or a mistake. I don't think trading here is good. I don't think coming back here would be really that great. Maybe going all the way back here could have been something. But I did see that if he pushes up here, he's starting to run into a bit of trouble. And it'll be interesting to see if this is a brilliant move or a mistake. Now, I took, and if he takes back, I'm pretty happy. And if he takes, he can actually castle here if he wants. Not that he would. I can actually force a draw here if I want. Ideas like that, but that doesn't seem too sound. So let's have a look. And then if he goes here, I'm actually up 1 point of material. I can actually back off now, hit this pawn at the same time. If he tries to defend, I could come in for here. So yeah, I think the rook sack was good. And he went here. And I had 2 options here. Now the reason I didn't go here is because I was worried about that. And now I don't have this good pin anymore. I can even go here, and he could still go across if he wanted. He'd have to defend. Oh. And it's a little bit unclear. So yeah, I saw with that, maybe the queen would be better. And then the rook comes over here. And I'm mindful of this bishop taking. I'm probably never going to take this bishop, but I wanted to get here. He took the bishop. Didn't care. Now I've got 3 attackers, and I think it's all over from here. All right, let's have a quick look at the review. I reckon I scored mid-90s, maybe 92. I reckon he scored about 80%. 90 to 64. 2250, so my middle game had a little bit of work to be done, but I can already see some brilliance. Let's have a look. That's a blunder. It's not just a bad move, it's actually a blunder. If I missed... Okay, let's have a look. Oh, okay. Okay. Bishop takes, king takes, and then queen goes across for check. Is that what it's hinting at here? And now I assume we do take the bishop? Yeah, okay. So that's a tactic I missed. I guess I need to work on these early bishop tactics because I actually lost it, well, drew a game in the tournament losing to a tactic just like this. Max, send it through to me. Send me, I'm not sure if you can send the link on chess.com, but you can always send it through to me. Just find a way. I'll have a look at it. So, that's a tactic I missed. And yeah, that was an inaccurate move, and it's actually saying that the a4 option that I was considering was actually quite good. Again, a4. And yeah, here I was wondering queenside castle. Okay, kingside is not as good. So it was queenside castling there, okay. Again, okay, it actually did like a4 this time. So I was considering a4. Let's have a look at a4 and see why a4 is good. I don't know. Okay. And let's see if this is a blunder. It is. It is a blunder, and it goes up to 4.4, 4.3. So, yeah, this is a blunder, and that's a brilliant. Oh, did that make a noise? Oh, there we go. That's a nice noise. So we've got the brilliant and best move. Let's see if the bishop move was alright. The bishop move was a blunder. I didn't even look at this move. Okay, so the bishop move was a blunder. It's a good thing I took my time. Found queen takes, and that's a brilliant. Let's go. Not always about the small sacrifices of pieces. Just add more pressure in the right moment. I'm surprised that's even a good move. And then it's actually maiden 4 from here. Let's see if H1 was any different. How could it be? The only one that was, this is going to be a blunder for sure. It's a good move. But then he gets away. And then you're in a bit of an awkward situation, but yeah, like, you know, it's still going through. Oh yeah. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Who are all these people? All right. Somebody wanted to see how to castle. So let me just set the board up again, and I'll just show that real quick. All right. So how it castles. Start a game as black. So how it will castle is, first I'll show you the knight move. So the knight move is going to be down here. You'll watch the pawns move out of the way. And then we'll push the bishop up. Pin shadow. And then to castle, now normally I might play here, but to castle, the king and the rook will just sort of walk around each other. And if the pawns need to get out of the way, they will shift. So the first pawn moves a little bit out. The bishop didn't need to move, and the king just gets onto his square. So that is how they castle. And again, watching the knight down in this area here, the two pawns will move out of the way, and then the knight will come through. And of course, if the pawn wants to capture the knight, so we'll just let the pawn capture the knight will just simply walk off the board, and then the pawn will move into the spot while the pawn leaves. The pawn says to the knight, "Get out of my game, kid." All right, so let's just quickly resign this one. I'll just reset the board. I just like to give the board a little reset before I start a new game. Guys, if you want, I can actually play all of you. If you guys want to type in your moves, I can just do the moves on here. Just have to set up a board. Otherwise, I can play somebody if somebody wants to play. Otherwise, I can go for another rating climb game. That first one was a good one, so I can always keep that going too. Yeah, the knights are pretty funny how they move. I definitely think how the knights move is definitely one of the coolest parts of the board. Paragon, welcome. Tell me more about the tilt. How do we play each other when you are down? Henry, what's your username? I know you added me, but like 3 people added me, so. I don't see any big tilt problem from your ratings. Everything seems fine. Are you even winning? So I wouldn't. Oh, there it is. I wouldn't say it's a crazy tilt. Henry, what's your name? All right, challenge has been sent. Elo Maxing, welcome back. Welcome back. It's going well. It's going very well. Yeah, 2 brilliants. That last game was very, very interesting game for sure. I'm very happy with how I played that one. Yeah, it was a good game. It was a fun game. It was good that I found the tactics straight away because I've actually had some really bad tactics on the puzzle rush earlier, but I kind of rushed it, so that was alright. I've had a few of those games lately where you just sort of look for an imbalance and then you kind of tear up. And I think I need to be looking for more imbalances in my games because I feel like that's where I'm the strongest. Dominic, welcome back. Good to see you again. It's been a while. How am I liking the board? I really enjoy it. I think puzzles is where it's really, really good. But it definitely has its fun during the games as well. DH Germany, how goes the training? It's been a while since I've seen you in here, but I also did have to take a week off to get some stuff done. Yeah, no, I'm fine. All is well. Yeah. Oh well. Look, we both took the time off at the same time. All right. Well, that just blunders a rook, but does it blunder a rook? So queen takes, bishop here, queen takes. I don't really want to trade my rook, my queen for two rooks. So yeah, I don't see any good coming out of that. But does it actually blunder a rook? Because queen here, bishop here, queen here, actually get away with the rook for free. And then queen here, threatening checkmate, and then push. Maybe it's good. What I got? I got 9 minutes, so. I I think taking it. Well, that just creates an imbalance now. Queen takes, king takes, bishop takes, two rooks, a knight and bishop versus a queen and a knight. But I actually think just going back here now that I'm up a full rook is actually better. I'm leaning towards this move, even though this one's probably the technically more accurate. So that would be 8 for 9 points. No, actually, I think this is just the right move. Does he have anything good here? I'm not sure. Move, and then knight will come in and block. I think just moving the queen here is the right way to go about it. Just bring the queen back to safety. Yes, the real board definitely helps with calculation, no doubt, no doubt. When I do my serious training over the board with my books, I will always do it on a physical board. I really do need to get back into that strict training session again as well. A bottle of Advil just fell over. So I need to get back into that serious training, and if I ever do serious training, I will definitely be doing it over the board. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, knight e4, where I wanted the knight to go all along. And it also attacks the bishop. And now I don't particularly want to trade. It does isolate his pawn, giving my knight a good outpost though. So I'm going to. D4 was the move. D4 was the move. Pawn moves up. The bishop is still there. My bishop is still there. He takes. I take. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We'll have a look at that after the game. That was a good one that I didn't really. I didn't even consider. I mean, up a full rook right now is up a full rook and 2 extra pawns. But yeah, back to DH70, talking about calculation. I definitely think that training over a real board, it doesn't matter if it's an electronic board or a board with nasty plastic pieces and a torn up base. I think practicing over a real board is definitely the way to go. I think practicing on a 2D board where you're drawing lines and you're finding the answer doesn't help your calculation, because when you get to a real tournament game, you can't just take out a pen and start drawing on the board. So yeah, I think that's definitely the way to go. I can see how to win the queen here, but I'm just trying to see if it's a checkmate first. So, the guaranteed way to win the queen is check. He has to take, and then you take the queen. Now what we could do instead is just take, and he takes, and then it's check, and then he moves, and then you win the queen and the knight. So that would be the smarter way to do it, but I'm trying to find if there's a checkmate here. I'm not seeing any checkmate, so now the question is, well, I think I'm going to take the knight. I think I'm going to go with that strategy. And then if he doesn't take back, then I should have some sort of checkmate going on here. All right, good game, good game. Yeah, so he takes here, I go here, he comes back, doesn't matter which way he goes, and I win the queen. Everyone's saying check with the knight first. So that's check, he has to take here and then win the queen. That's good too. I mean, yeah, they're both fine. But the reason I went here is, let's say he does, well, he doesn't really have anywhere else to go, does he? But let's just say he goes here and I ignore it. Do I have some sort of checkmate here? I do. Well, then he can take here anyway. But you get the idea. So I feel like this opponent had a opening trap set up. I feel like there was some sort of opening trap, and I definitely feel like there was something there. Like if I go here to defend, he can now take, I take, and then he wins the pawn. So I ended up going here. I feel like there was something else that I found here that kind of made me think about this move a little bit longer than I needed to. What was it? I can't go here. Definitely not going there. I didn't want to go here because then he comes back and we get stuff going on here. So probably a bit of a weird move. Maybe here was better, but I didn't want to lock in my queen. I wondered if en passant was good here. Now I think this was a mistake by me because it allows that, but I'm not too worried because the dark squared bishop is gone, the king can come across here and the rook can come up. So I'm not convinced it was a mistake. Thank you for the follow. I'm not convinced that it was a mistake, but it was, yeah, definitely something to consider. And because he didn't go for it, and Henry, thank you for the follow. Because he allows the trade, I'll take, because I am in a little bit of pressure here. So I'll get out of it. And yeah, that blunders a pawn. What was better here? Maybe just develop. I've got 3 attackers here. Maybe, I'm not sure. I think that taking the bishop, taking the knight over there and doubling the H-file pawns would have been the best way to go. And yeah, that's a blunder. That's a blunder. The idea was get that in balance. I didn't like that, but then I realized we can just get out, and even if he tries to trap it in, the knight is on a good spot. Now d4, let's have a look. Who's doing that? Thank you for the likes. Nerdy, 800, is that? I don't know how many likes. 700 likes, thank you very much. Nerdy, #1 fan. All right, so d4, pressure's on. If they don't take the pawn, then I can take. Yeah, d4 looks pretty good actually, but then you realize this knight is falling. So yeah, I just think maybe the simple approach here is take the bishop is fine. And I went here to stop that. Go here, he comes down here, and then I've got to go, oh, and then I've got to go here anyway. Why give him that good outpost? Yep, and it's just all over from here. Let's have a quick look at the game review. Yeah, so the opening was definitely +2. So I made a lot of inaccuracies in the opening. Just failed to take advantage of him. Yeah, that was a mistake for sure. Castling was a mistake. Oops. See, an interesting one. Okay. So many mistakes. And yeah, now that the light squared bishop is off, I can relax a bit. And yeah, now that it's winning in my favor, it's just a matter of grinding it out. So that wasn't a blunder, it was just inaccurate. Yeah, best move. also good. Made in 6. Made in 6, let's have a look. I don't see it. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Made in 6. Okay, so it's just going for that letter mate. So yeah, not really anything forced in, well, forced. It was going to happen, but yeah, a nice way to finish off that game. And now, I think we'll do some Puzzle Rush. Because I cannot handle the strength of the below 1000s. Alright, I'm going to quickly clear through the first 20, and then we'll get it to over the board. Oh, wrong color. There we go. Take. Black to move in this one. What is this? Okay, that's what it is. That's a bad puzzle. And by bad puzzle, I mean it was a really good puzzle. It was just not suitable for that range, and they didn't play the optimal move. I feel Eva wins a queen. Black to move. White to move. This one's white to move. Can't go there, can't go there, can go there. And it goes back, and then you go up here. This one's white to move. We've got a fork over there, but can we find something better? Started on this one because it didn't appear to me straight away. All right. This one's black to move. Thank you for the follow. And thank you for the follow, guys. If you are new here, don't forget to hit follow. Streaming multiple days per week, and I do have some very cool events coming up. So make sure you follow me on all the platforms to see what happens. Thank you for the rose. But yeah, definitely have a lot of interesting events coming up. Just waiting for those to be finalized, and then I'll announce them on here. But until they're finalized, I'll just keep it to myself. But definitely have some cool events coming up, some cool ideas, some cool videos. So make sure you're following here. Make sure you check out my YouTube as well. Definitely a lot going on over the next couple of months. Now this one here, I could just take the knight, but then the queen takes, and I take, and yeah, look. Age should, age of the youngest GM. So over on YouTube, unpopular opinion, but I don't think it's a good thing on how much they emphasize the age of the youngest GMs. It is impressive when a teenager is 25, 50, but age shouldn't be a major factor. I think I disagree a little bit. I think when you have somebody so young get to such a strong level, it needs to be celebrated. Because they need to be somebody that people can keep an eye on to see how much they can grow. I think if no one celebrated Magnus the way they did, would he have reached the level that he got to without that recognition? So when Magnus started tearing up, and I think he became the youngest person to be the top of the leaderboard. I'm not sure on that one, but you know, if they don't reward incredible milestones, how do people get noticed? That's what I'm looking at there for when they've got the youngest GMs. I actually met the youngest GM. Let me see if I can bring up the photo. I probably can't. But I actually met the youngest GM in New York. Yeah, it's probably a case of like, you know, do they do anything? Do they take advantage of shooting up? And we do it in Australia. We celebrate the youngest players who get to candidate master and international master level. And I think it helps them sort of get recognized, and then they can get the help they need to sort of get to that next level. Yeah, that's my opinion. Does my opinion matter? Probably not. But yeah, that's my opinion. All right, so for this one here, bishop takes knight, rook takes, and then we've got checkmate. So bishop takes knight. And if they don't do anything, then we've just got discovered attacks and good stuff going on there. So I think it's bishop takes knight. Yeah. And then we've just got checkmate. Apologies, I went off on a little rant. But yeah, I think, you know, would Bobby Fischer have had the help he needed to get to world champion if he wasn't celebrated in the media? You know, then he starts getting sponsorships from the government to help him play out and achieve his goals. If he never got that recognition, would he have gone so high? Yeah, I mean, you could also look at it if you're hyping it up too much. You could also be putting a lot of pressure. Yes, exactly what I was just about to say. Over on YouTube, DH70 says, "I see your point, and I don't disagree, but I think it puts unnecessary pressure on children to break specific records. In chess, there is always pressure, and recognition is good, obviously not easy, 100%. So that was the next point that I was going to say. I was going to sort of backtrack a little bit on my argument. When you suddenly go putting pressure on the kids to outperform, it can be tough, especially when you see their picture in newspapers. They're being put on local news. Who knows who's seeing that? That could be seen by their friends at school. It can be seen by people outside the community. I think one of the interesting ones was the little boy that they had on national TV who played against Karpov. I think that would have put an incredible amount of pressure on him, and I don't think he ever became a strong player. Yeah. So, putting him on TV like that, and it made probably one of the best chess memes that is out there. But putting him on TV like that probably added a lot to the pressure. I think there was something else in there that caused him to lose that game. He wasn't used to using a clock or anything like that. But it does put a lot of pressure on them, and I think that's one of the hardest things. I'm 1800, and a lot of people think that 2000 is that level that you've got to be at to be considered somewhat decent. So every game I lose just drives me backwards, away from that expected greatness that people feel you should have. All right, let's have a look at this move and see if I can find something great. Okay, so I had a look at one option, which was simply sacrifice the queen, and if I go there, well, you can't do that because you're pinned. Next was check, and if I go there, that's winning, and if I go here, that's still winning. Yeah, one thing I had when I was younger was I never had that pressure, that expectation to be the best. When I played in tournaments, coming second or third was always an honor, because I was never expected to win the tournament. Alright, this one's black to move. And I did see that a lot at the junior level. A lot of kids were put under enormous pressure, and as soon as they got to 18, they never played the game ever again. There definitely has to be an element of enjoyment for the game. Appreciation. And I think that's what Fischer had. He had that enjoyment, that appreciation for the game. I'm not sure if he was... Rook lift strongest idea in chess? I don't know. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. Queen d4? Queen d4. Yeah, queen d4 looks pretty good. This one's wide to move, and straight away when I see this, I think of Legal's mate. But I didn't even need to look at the position. As soon as I saw the bishop took the queen, I thought of Legal's mate, or Legal's mate, however you want to say it. So the knight was here, it took up here, and the bishop goes, okay, great, free queen. But it's not, because they've got check, and then, whoops, and then checkmate. Never have I had that in a game, but it's one of those ones that everyone needs to know, apparently. Board disconnected. 1 second. There we go. Yeah, to be honest, I haven't really looked into many of the greats of the past. Paul Morphy is really the only one I sort of looked into, and it's kind of sad. So good that no one would play him. So good that he didn't get to learn off anyone better. And as far as I know, he just quit and died broke. So kind of a sad story. I found this one pretty quick. Before it finished setting up, when I saw the knight there, I knew exactly what was going on. Son, correct. Paul Morphy? I'm not sure. I thought Paul Morphy, I think he was a lawyer, but I don't think he was a good one, from what I've read. Well, you know, I hope he did, but yeah, it was just really disappointing to hear that he just had to pretty much give up on the game and move on. Okay, this one's white's move. I was looking from black's point of view, and I was looking straight away at that. And then that, but we've got to spin it around. And then when you look from this side, it's very clear. Defend, push away, and then checkmate. Disconnect? It did. Yeah, maybe what I read about it was somebody who's being a little bit dramatic. Yeah. Just checkmate on one, I think it is. Thank you very much. I will be ending it shortly, but still around until the end of this rush. Thanks for stopping in. I'll see you next time. To move him. So I'm going to play these a little bit quicker now. Take a little bit more of a chance each time. I'm not entirely sure. I feel like they would, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it's always been like a little bit of a surprise. Now I knew about the Chessnut Go when it came out, and I knew about the Evo. So the Evo was a Kickstarter project, I believe. So there was a lot of interest there. Obviously, the Move was a big one as well. Now the Move, I think they teased it before the Go came out. They were actually at a convention and they showed a picture of a moving chessboard, which would eventually become the Chessnut Move. But they never really announced it. It was more of a thing of people just figured it out. And then they're like, hey, is that a moving chessboard? And it's like, maybe. And that came out about the time the Go came out. And then, for the next year and a bit, they were sort of perfecting the Move before releasing it to market. So there was like little hints out there that it was coming. But we just didn't know when. This one's back to Move, yep. This one's white to Move. DH Germany, do you have any of the current boards that they have? Do you have any that you're leaning towards getting? Yeah, Christmas is definitely a good time. There's got to be a checkmate here. I just don't see it. don't see it. Ah, there it is. I knew the first move made sense, but I was looking at queen follow-ups, and then yeah, the move is definitely a it's definitely the most popular board out of their whole lineup. But they do have other boards which are very good as well. Given your style of training, the pro would also be a good one. This one's black to move. Okay, I'm not sure on this one. We got the pin, so rook takes, king has to go there. Rook up, king does not have to come back. Queen here, king across again, and I'm not seeing the follow-up from there. Maybe it's a different order. Maybe it's rook takes, king across, and then queen over here. They don't have any checks. The queen now covers this square, and if he does take, the queen can come up here, and then if he tries to block, it's checkmate. So I think this one's the first move. The new design is really good, really good. For those wondering, on YouTube, DH Germany just said they watched my previous video on the pieces. The pieces do come in different sizes for the Pro, and the premium pieces are very good, but the new standard pieces they have are also incredibly good. Yeah, I went down to a, I didn't actually own the standard pieces. I actually have the old board because I got mine a couple of years ago. And they were good, but the new ones are really good. And I went down to a tournament, and I took one of the boards with me to show people. And I was just blown away by how good the standard pieces were. White to move. White to move. Well, the first move of queen takes h7 is just screaming to be played. I'm just not seeing the follow-up. Am I missing a piece? No. Queen h7, king f8, queen h8, king to e7, queen to whatever that square is. Okay. Queen and rook will always checkmate king, a lone king. So check, across, check, up, check. If he goes here, check. And when he finally comes down, check. Then he goes over here. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure the first move is queen takes pawn. Had to figure that one out as I went, but once you get a little bit clearer, once you get a little bit closer to it, it became a little bit more clearer what was the idea there. Next one is black to move. I always manage to get these ones wrong. Alright, so there is a difference between moves, so here and here are the two moves that I'm looking at. Now if I go down here, you can always block up here and I take it, that's fine. If I go over here for check, again he can come up and I can take it. So I'm not sure if either of these moves are actually correct or not, or no, it wouldn't be take pawn. Wouldn't be go here, he comes back up. And yeah, this is one of those ones where I always get this puzzle wrong. That's why. If I go down here, he can actually block the check. And then when the bishop takes for check, the rook can come. I don't get it. Rook d6 protects the bishop. Yeah. So we got this move here. So rook down, check, up. Rook g6 protects the bishop. What do you mean? What do you mean? There's another way that he can get it. So I can go here as well and he can just go across. That pawn, yeah, there we go. Rook g6 protects the bishop, of course. I mean, that was going to be the logical move I was going to play every time. Yeah, you've got to be wary of those pawns going the wrong way. But yeah, with the pro pieces, I was actually talking to some parents, and they wanted to buy their son a pro, and they were weighing up between the premium pieces, which they really liked, or the standard pieces. I was like, get the standard pieces. Not only do you save yourself $100, but it's what he wants. He's gonna want tournament-sized pieces. because the premium pieces for a tournament player can be a little bit distracting, and you want to sort of mimic the best tournament environment you can. Back to move. Okay, because it's not just knight takes, queen moves up, and then bishop takes, and then queen takes, and then knight takes, knight c3, bishop b4, knight c3, yeah, bishop to d4. Oh yeah. So you've gone through the same order I've gone through without the moves from the opponent. But yeah, that's what I came up with as well. Didn't expect that move. But I guess it's still the same. So much is happening. Yeah, so that was definitely a little bit off what I planned, but it still worked out. But yeah, like when it comes to picking one of these boards, they've got so many different options. If you just picked one randomly, you might not like what you get, but if you look at all of them and you choose the one that's correct for you, like I know one guy who he was interested in the move, but he didn't really like the look of the pieces. He was a tournament player as well. He didn't like the look of the bishops, but he did like the Evo, and he liked how the Evo would this one's white to move. He liked how the Evo would be good for taking to cafes and sitting down and enjoying a coffee while playing. So if he got the move, he'd be in a bit of trouble because you cannot take the move to a cafe. I mean, I could try it, but I'm not going to. At night, it's doing a lot of work. Push pawn, knight they can't go there because of the knight, they can't go there, the rook is blocking, everything's blocking, so they can only go here and then the pawn comes up. And then, yes, queen trapped, and then pawn comes up here. We win the queen. Nice and easy. All right, black to move. I think I need to find a book just like that one, but on Paul Morphy. Because not only would it be fun reading about his games, but it would also be fun reading about his life as well. This one's black to move. Yeah, it is black to move. Okay. Okay, I'm leaning towards Queen G4. I'll be back. It's a really difficult one. I didn't see that A5 move. That was a difficult one. That was a difficult one. This one's going to be white, black to move. Alright, black to move. I'm going to start playing these a bit quicker. That's a shame. I think I got this one before it's set up. Oh no. Oh, the quick moves got me. I think I am gonna have to call it because I am starting to get a bit sniffy, and that's never fun to watch. So I'm gonna try and do these next couple like really quick. I have no idea for this one. I'm kind of just looking at just getting rid of that. And then queen trapped. So if I go here, take, and then I go here. That's still even. think I am going to call it here. I will be back tomorrow, and hopefully a lot earlier than I was today. So thank you guys for joining in, and I will quickly just mention, make sure you're following either here or YouTube, because I do have some exciting stuff coming up in the near future that I'm pretty sure people will enjoy. So yeah, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, do whatever you need to do. If you are interested in one of these boards, I have done reviews and tutorials on all of them, so you can check that out on my website there. That will link you to everything you need to know. All right, guys, other than that, I think I will call it a day, and I will see you all tomorrow.
Don't worry about that game. It's on the next one. Yeah, he's on the next one. Clock still ticking, yeah, his lesson just begun. Pieces hit the board and his whole heart sank. Sat there staring like, how did miss that? No prep, rush moves, played it all wrong. Thought he saw the tactics, stared at it too long. Silence in the room while he's shaking his head. Beacon maybe chess just lives in his head. Every loss heavy when he's chasing the climb. Every wrong move echo went back in his mind. Tells himself study, tells himself focus. But the score, she's staring back like he's hopeless. Looks at the board, barely says a breath. Man, he really threw that game to death. Yeah, they saying he a loser. Blunder like a club room loser. Trap his queen like nice maneuver. He's looking at the board like, who even taught it? Trains every night and still forgot the structure. Wanted to play solid, ended up chaotic. Chess got dreams, but the moves look comic. Yeah, he felt his time, yeah, he played it dumb. Whole chat watching like, what's he done? But he's writing those mistakes down one by one. Next time he the one saying checkmate, son. So laugh right now, yeah, he earned that bruise.